Okay, we're now on to marking for Hahn and Muni's work, and you know, myself and Mr. Jones will always start off by looking at a plan, okay, and yours is limited to say the least. Okay, it says email, advertise, online form. Okay, you would need to be coming up with possibly more. There is no form of hardware there, and in fact there's actually no, depends how you're going to describe email, but there's no software there either. Okay, you're not indicating what they can be used for, and there's no indication of your train of thought and how you're going to go through this. Okay, which is actually quite a big worry.
I would argue that advertising is not a communication technology either.
Yeah, it would be dependent. If you had advertising and had different types of software to do it, or different types of hardware you're going to use to do it, then you might possibly, as like it depends how you went and wrote about it. Okay, so now let's look at your next bit here. Your introduction. As a young entrepreneur setting up a business to provide a health and fitness gym in my local community, I will need to purchase hardware, communication technologies and software to promote and communicate with clients. Perfectly good introduction. Okay, sets up your essay
discussion,
and leads us on to going, okay, this person writing this may well have a good flow and a good style of writing. Let's have a look at this bit here. I will need to find out how many people are interested in the gym, so I need to get, sounds good so far, up we go, so I need to get their emails. Okay, email addresses please. Once I've got that, I could add the email software. I could use the email software to send them all an online form for the gym. No, I can have them all in a group in my address book, so I don't have to send it to them one by one. Okay, that second bit's fine. You don't send them an online form. You may well send them something about the gym where they can get to the part with an online form.
I want to throw in something about your form of writing style here. You're referring to it as in the first person. You are not the entrepreneur. The context of the question says you are advising someone. Oh, sorry. Oh no, Mr. Goodie is correcting me. I apologise. Okay,
it does say you're a young entrepreneur. However, you should still try to avoid using the first person if possible in an essay quite a lot. Okay.
And in this stage I do know because it's technical. You need another few bits of software in order to be able to do what you're talking about, which is a mail merged email.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'd need some form of data handling software, perhaps a spreadsheet or a database to store the email, and then if you've bought the email and the database or spreadsheet as part of a general software package like Office, then you could probably they'd have the software ready set up to do a mail merge to link the emails to a predefined template, which you'd need a Word document or an email client package, or even a publishing package. Okay. If not, you'd need to buy or locate another piece of software which would allow you to link the three together.
Yeah, and I will add here about what we said to Tom actually. If you don't understand something at all, don't try and impress people by putting it in. Yeah. Talk about things that you actually understand about.
Yeah.
Okay. So before that, I may need to advertise a gym, so I have to create a poster about it using a poster to promote it using Dreamweaver. Well, no, you wouldn't do a poster in Dreamweaver or Microsoft Publisher. Okay, that is valid. Microsoft Publisher is desktop publishing software. It would be better there. However, Dreamweaver is expensive.
True, but
yes, it is.
It shows a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Can I just say at this point that you're the first person who's actually really putting into context the fact that the question asks for what you'd need to purchase before you started trading, and using that part of the question, which is good.
So I may need to work out the costs of the gym per month to what I will need to pay for each month for equipment and other things, so I could use a spreadsheet to work out these costs so I can get an idea before. before starting, I assume that means.
This is again back to that form of writing style.
Yeah, form of writing. It seemed to me that when I was reading that, I was saying so quite a lot. And yes, your use of spreadsheet is fine, is valid. If you want to get higher marks, you want to then start to be comparing it to maybe bespoke software you could use, off-the-shelf software, some other stuff, because actually you'll find not many places, unless they're very small, are going to use a spreadsheet to do that. But it is a valid form of way they could do it.
At the moment, I'm just going to point out that we're only talking about software at the moment.
Yeah, there has been no link to hardware.
And although email is communication, I think you're talking about it more in a software packaged way as opposed to how email could be used.
Yeah. Okay, so
after I've got everyone's details, I could send them all an email about the gym and tell them about it, so they have an idea of how it is, and so that they have all the information they need. That's sort of bringing in communication technologies and how email is. You're repeating yourself, though, from your first one.
Okay, they've given you 11 marks. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to mark you down.
Yeah. Right, so if we bring this in, this isn't finished, and it sort of, I think, it identifies the plan. In fact, you ran out of time towards the end. Although, I hope these doodlings have come afterwards. Otherwise, you were wasting your time. But right, candidate shows little understanding because you've picked software package you don't clearly understand. You're close to being in this. Made reference to at least one of hardware communication technologies or software. It depends, I suppose, whether you think, sir, that she's written enough about email to include two from software and communication. She's not mentioned hardware.
I'm going to say that you would be at the bottom of mid-mark because you have done one of the load marks reasonably well, which is software.
They are appropriate, but you show a little understanding, and that's why you're right at the bottom. And again, on a bad day, you're likely to fall back into that if you get an examiner who doesn't like it. And again, I'm hoping the rest, it doesn't really flow that well. You've jumped back and forward, you repeated yourself, used the same word lots of times. Spelling's not too bad, but your key terminology's not right. Understanding that you would use publisher, yes, but it's a desktop publisher. Understanding that Dreamweaver is not a desktop publisher, not used for posters. Understanding what you'd need to send out a mail merge to email. That is the understanding you've got to show to move up any higher, and that's something you need to know. And take a leaf out of Tom's book, pick something you know. You know how to use a keyboard, you know how to use a mouse. I'm pretty sure you know how to use a phone. I'm pretty sure you've used Skype, used MSN to communicate inside the gym between staff.
You said you have used Word documents to write letters or something like that. Okay,
I'm sure you know what screens are for.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to give you 6 marks for this.
Yep.